The California sun shone intensely over the Golden Harvest Studios in Los Angeles on that hot day in 1973. The air conditioning barely managed to cool the enormous warehouse where Enter the Dragon was being filmed, the movie that would forever change the history of martial arts cinema. Among cables, cameras, and spotlights, two kung fu titans were about to take part in a moment that would be etched into the memory of everyone present. Bruce Lee, at 32 years old, was already a living legend. His sculpted body and seemingly impossible movements had captivated millions around the world. But that day, standing in front of him, was a man whose physical presence was just as imposing. Bolo Yeung, the 47-year-old bodybuilder and martial artist, known in Hong Kong as the Beast of the East. If this story is gripping you as much as it did us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any incredible stories like this one. Give it a like if you want to know what really happened between these two giants of martial arts. The tension on set was palpable. Director Robert Klaus had gathered the entire crew to film one of the most anticipated fight scenes of the movie. Bruce played Lee, the hero infiltrating a deadly tournament, while Bolo portrayed Bolo, the villain's brutal bodyguard. The irony of Bolo playing a character with his own name was not lost on anyone. For weeks, the two actors had trained together, perfecting every movement, every strike, every block. The chemistry between them was undeniable, but so was a silent rivalry beginning to take shape. Bolo, with his impressive 120 kilograms physique packed onto a 1.80-meter frame, had won countless bodybuilding titles across Asia. His strength was legendary, and although he deeply respected Bruce, part of him questioned whether speed could truly overcome pure power. That morning, as the crew prepared the cameras for the final fight sequence, Bolo approached Bruce in the rest area. The extras and technical staff continued with their tasks, unaware of the conversation about to unfold. "Bruce," Bolo said in English, marked by a heavy Cantonese accent, "I've been thinking about our scene. I want it to look real, authentic. I don't want the audience to see acting, but truth." Bruce, who had been reviewing his script notes, looked up. His dark eyes studied his co-star with piercing intensity. "Truth in combat isn't just about strength, Bolo. It's about anticipation, flow, about being like water," Bruce replied, repeating his famous philosophy. Bolo smiled, but there was a flash of challenge in his eyes. "Water can be powerful, my friend, but it can also break against the rock. My master always said that concentrated strength can stop any current." The air between them grew heavy. Nearby assistants began to sense that something unusual was happening. Jim Kelly, the film's other lead, stepped closer, feeling the rising tension. "Everything okay, brothers?" Jim asked, trying to lighten the mood. Bruce never took his eyes off Bolo. "Bolo believes his strength can overcome my speed. It's an interesting theory." "It's not just a theory," Beyond the Lookout replied, stepping forward. "I've seen many fast men in my life, Bruce. I've fought Wing Chun masters, Hung Gar, Choi Li Fut. Speed impresses, but in the end, the one who hits harder wins." The murmurs on set stopped completely. Everyone knew they were witnessing something extraordinary. Robert Klaus rushed over, worried that his two stars might come to blows off camera. "Gentlemen, save the energy for the scene," the director intervened. But Bruce raised a hand, asking for silence. His expression was calm, almost meditative. He had faced challenges like this his entire life. From his days teaching in Oakland to demonstrations at international tournaments, there were always those who questioned whether his unconventional approach worked against larger, stronger opponents. "It's okay, Robert," Bruce said calmly. "I think Bolo and I need to clear something up before filming. Not to fight, but to understand each other." He turned to Bolo and, for the first time in the conversation, smiled genuinely. "Let's do a demonstration, you and me, right here. Not to hurt each other, but to prove our points. What do you say?" Bolo nodded slowly. He respected Bruce, but he trusted his own abilities. Years of perfecting his body and techniques had built that confidence. The production crew formed a circle around the two men. Silent bets began among technicians and extras. Some favored Bruce Lee's legendary speed. Others trusted Bolo Yeung's overwhelming strength. Bruce removed his shirt, revealing his sculpted physique, every muscle defined with surgical precision. Though he weighed only 61 kilograms, his body was a machine of pure efficiency. Bolo did the same, and the onlookers couldn't help but murmur at the physical contrast. It was like watching David prepare to face Goliath. "The rules are simple," Bruce announced. "I'll give you 3 chances to hit me with full force. Use any technique, any strategy. Then I'll have 1 chance to touch you before you touch me. If I succeed, I prove my point. If you hit me first, we'll admit that strength has its advantages over speed in certain situations." "And if I hit you first?" Bolo asked. "Then we admit strength has its merits," Bruce replied honestly. Bolo accepted. They took their positions, about 3 meters apart. The set fell completely silent. Even the lighting crew stopped working. Bolo's first attempt was direct and powerful, a straight punch with his right hand that could have knocked down a bull. But Bruce was no longer there. He had moved aside with a fluidity that seemed to defy physics. Before Bolo could retract his arm, Bruce was already behind him. 1, Bruce counted calmly. Bolo turned, impressed but undeterred. For his second attempt, he became more strategic. He feinted high, then launched a low circular kick aimed at Bruce's legs, a technique capable of breaking bones. But once again, Bruce anticipated the move before it happened. He leaped over Bolo's leg with a dancer's grace, landed beside him, and lightly touched his shoulder. 2, Bruce said, without a trace of arrogance. The spectators were hypnotized. Some of the extras, experienced martial artists themselves, had never seen such mastery of timing and spatial awareness. For his third and final attempt, Bolo used everything he had. He attacked with a combination of strikes and grapples, trying to use his reach and strength to trap Bruce. For 5 intense seconds, it seemed he might succeed. His hands brushed past Bruce's face. His kicks nearly grazed his body. But Bruce moved as if dancing, every dodge calculated to millimeter precision. Finally, Bolo threw his last punch, a full-power right hook. Bruce simply leaned back, letting the fist pass centimeters from his nose. Then, with a speed barely visible to the human eye, touched Bolo's chest with 2 fingers. 3, Bruce whispered. Bolo stepped back, breathing heavily, not from exhaustion, but from awe. In all his years of training in combat, he had never faced anyone with such perception and speed. Now it was Bruce's turn to prove his original claim. He stood facing Bolo at the same distance as before. "I can touch you before you touch me," Bruce repeated. "Not because I'm better than you, Bolo, but because I've devoted my life to understanding time and space in combat. This isn't magic. It's science, practice, and philosophy combined." Bolo nodded, preparing to defend. Bruce closed his eyes for a moment, centering himself. When he opened them, the intensity in his gaze made several spectators instinctively step back. What happened next was so fast that many swore they blinked and missed it. Bruce moved forward, but not in a straight line. His angle was unpredictable. Bolo tried to intercept him with a block, but Bruce's hand had already passed over his defense, gently touching his forehead before Bolo could complete the movement. The set erupted in murmurs of amazement. Some applauded, others simply stared, mouths open. Bruce stepped back and extended his hand to Bolo. The giant took it, and to everyone's surprise, both men began to laugh. "You're incredible, Bruce," Bolo admitted with genuine admiration. "My master was wrong. Perfect speed can defeat strength." "Your master wasn't completely wrong," Bruce replied. "Strength has its place. What you've shown is that you are a powerful warrior. The lesson isn't that one is better than the other. It's that we must adapt our style to our natural strengths. You have incredible power. I have speed. Together, in this film, we'll show the world that both approaches are valid and spectacular." Robert Klaus approached, clearly relieved that everything had ended peacefully and thrilled by what he had witnessed. "Gentlemen, if you capture even a fraction of that intensity on camera, we'll have the greatest fight scene ever filmed," he said. And that's exactly what happened. When they finally shot the fight scene between Bruce Lee and Bolo Yeung, The chemistry and mutual respect they had developed translated into one of the most iconic sequences in martial arts cinema. Every strike, every block, every movement was filled with authenticity, because both men knew exactly what the other was capable of. During breaks, Bruce and Bolo talked about martial philosophy, sharing techniques and knowledge. What began as a potentially divisive challenge became a deep friendship built on mutual respect. Years later, when Bolo Yeung gave interviews about working with Bruce Lee, he always remembered that day on the Enter the Dragon set with awe and gratitude. Bruce taught me that being a true martial artist isn't about proving you're the best, Bolo would say. It's about perfecting your art and respecting the art of others. That day he showed me that speed and perception, when refined to the highest level, can achieve the impossible. The lesson of that day transcended the film set and became a legend within the martial arts community, a story told in dojos around the world. It wasn't just about who was faster or stronger, but about humility, mutual respect, and the constant pursuit of perfection. Bruce Lee tragically passed away just 3 weeks before the release of Enter the Dragon, at the age of 32. His death shocked the world, but his legacy, preserved in films like this and moments like the one he shared with Bolo Yeung, continues to inspire millions. Bolo went on to appear in more than 100 martial arts films, but he always said his most meaningful role was the one he shared with Bruce Lee. Not only because it was the most successful film of his career, but because it taught him the most important lesson of his life. True mastery is not about defeating others, but about perfecting oneself. If this story inspired you as much as it inspired us, share it with someone who needs to remember that true strength comes from respect, humility, and dedication to improving your own path. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and activate notifications for more incredible stories from the world of martial arts and cinema. Tell us in the comments what you think matters more in life, the speed to adapt or the strength to persevere. Your opinion matters,